I'm going to show how to provision an instance in a Mac operating system. I'm going to use the PEM method. When you create an instance, Ubuntu instance in your AWS, you save the PEM file, and then this file, this private file or private key, is going to allow you to connect and provision your instance in AWS through your terminal. So as you can see, I have login in my account. The instance is in running, is already is fully running, so it's ready to connect. My PEM file is in downloads, so is here. So as you can see, this is the name of the file that it's going to help me to connect to your terminal. So let's go back to the terminal and we go to connect. The first option gives the name, the username of the instance, which is by default. Most of the instances that they are in Ubuntu in AWS, they have a default name Ubuntu, and you can connect through console. So it's going to establish a connection and you are ready to run different commands. But that's not the case. We're going to try to connect our instance. So let's go back. That's not our instance, it's this one. We're going to connect this through the terminal. We go to SSH clients, and actually this option here is very nice to have because it shows all the steps how to connect with your instance without no need to worry about which should I run, what should I not run. It even explains each of the steps. So let's go and let's open the terminal. We go to our terminal. For those that they don't know where the terminal is, usually it is in the application here and you can find your terminal, but when you use very often it shows in a button. So now the terminal is opened and it asks you to locate your private key file, so, or the key that is going to launch your instance. So let's see, with ls we have downloads here, so we go with cd downloads. And now I am located in downloads. I do an ls, and as you can see here, it is even my file, my private key. So now I am located. I know that the location of my terminal is in downloads, and I am able to perform the next step. So the next step, actually, it says to run this command if to make it readable or viewable, your PEM file. So in this case, when you download and you have created and saved your PEM file, you might run through errors if you don't make it readable. So first, before we run the connection command, we have to copy, and with this command you give the possibility of the file to be readable and viewable by the terminal. So it is gmod, that's the code for making your file readable, and that's the name of the file. If for any reason you cannot run this command because you are not the permission of the users that is using this terminal does not allow to run this, you might need to run through sudo or the super user. So let's go back. If you cannot run it, you just need to write sudo and try to write with the sudo command. So you might not have permissions to run your user of the terminal, so it needs the sudo to run it. So let's try to run without sudo. So as you can see, it's run normally. I don't run through problems, and then I run and I connect through the public DNS. The example is here, so it is SSH, the command, the name of the file, the username, and the public DNS. I go and I paste here, and I run it. If still you run through problems and it shows that you are not allowed to run this command, you might need again to write sudo and to run this command. I run it, and as you can see, now I am logging with my instance. It shows here the username, and if you go back to your instances, let's go here, it shows even the private IP. So I am connected, and I can normally run my instance. And let's exit. And here is connection is finished, is closed, and I am back in my operating system. There is another way that we can run this command. We can run and connect through the public DNS, or we can run and connect through the public IP address. So we can, let's try with the public IP address. We delete the public IP DNS, and we copy, and we run it. As you can see, now I am connected. It shows the username of my operating system and the IP address. So the connection is performed normally, and we can exit. So this is one way how I have been, and I think is the best way for the Mac operating system to connect. You can try to connect through PuTTY. There are some instructions how you can download and install PuTTY in the Mac operating system, but for some reason I find it more complicated, the installation, and you might run through problems since there are so many Mac operating systems. But in my daily work, when I try to connect the instances in Ubuntu, in Mac operating system, I prefer to connect with VM.